Well, the Ottawa Children's Storytelling Festival kicks off today, as a matter of fact, back for its 28th time here in our community, and really giving an opportunity to storytellers and, of course, to those in attendance to be entertained by these wonderful performers. And I am joined by one of those wonderful performers here on the show today, Brad Denise. He is the youth stage manager at Ottawa Storytellers. Welcome.
Thank you.
Great to have you here.
Thank you very much.
We're having a great conversation in the green room, just telling me a little bit about your background as a performer. Tell our viewers a little bit about yourself.
Well, my background as a performer is I grew up here in Ottawa. I went to Canterbury Arts High School. I graduated as an actor, but worked as a dancer, then eventually went into circus. I passed 30 years working on the stage, traveled to over 47 countries.
Wow.
And ended up working with the Cirque du Soleil as a master of ceremonies telling the story.
How incredible.
So,
what a great experience.
I feel like I've come full cycle.
I feel the same way. I left for a while, and then I've returned here to host the show where my career began. So
yeah.
we both have that going for us. You've been back in Ottawa for 10 years, and you decided, to be a part of this wonderful community we have of storytellers. Tell us about this community. What is this, your tickle trunk here?
This is my little tickle trunk.
Okay.
This is my storytelling suitcase, briefcase, if you will. And this is the Ottawa Children's Storytelling Festival. It's the 28th, and it's been on for 7 years, since 2015.
Okay.
And what I enjoy about storytelling, it's not just for children, it's for adults, it's for everybody. And storytelling for me is the beginning of language. It's the beginning of entertainment. It's the beginning of the sharing, of coming together as a community, because you can't have a conversation alone.
Exactly.
You can't tell a story alone. Well, maybe a monologue, I think. But so I love the fact of the sharing, the knowledge, to teach little lessons in life, to share the beautiful moments, the hardship, and to be able to talk through it and to listen. Because listening is just as much a part of storytelling as storytelling is. Yeah,
tell me a little bit about that as a storyteller, that interaction that you have with the audience. It's special, isn't it?
It's very special. Honestly, I was influenced to be an entertainer because of storytelling. Because it sparked my imagination. It's not necessarily like you're reading a book, you're being told a book, but you're not being performed a book.
Right.
Because storytelling is not theater, and vice versa. Storytelling is a very special type of art. They provoke your imagination, they create the environment for you, but it's you or you or you or you that fill in the gaps. Your images, the image of that oak tree is different than the image of my oak tree.
Yeah.
And it makes it special and bonding.
Well said. Let's talk about the festival itself. Tell me about the schedule. Well, it's happening in a couple of different venues, isn't it?
It's happening all week. During the day at the Ottawa Public Library on the website, you can access, there'll be up to 47 videos being released for all of our youth up to 17 years old, being diffused, and that the teachers can use in the classroom and take their students through, and
great idea,
the stories. And then every evening we'll be having shows done as well. Now tonight is at the Ottawa Native Friendship Center, and it'll be specifically more orientated around our First Nations, but we also have other storytellers there in French and English as well. Tomorrow night it'll be with the Consortium Centre Jules Léger, and they're a center that works with visually impaired and the hearing impaired. And then on Wednesday, we'll be at the Beaverbrook Ottawa Public Library, where we'll be doing our workshop that we have just completed for our 12 to 17-year-olds, and they'll be presenting at the public library as well.
Oh, really? So tell me about the workshop and how you work with that.
That's right.
That demographic.
Well, we had two sets of workshops. Kids from 8 to 12. And then 12 to 17.
Okay.
Different interests, different groups, different language category, different development engagement. And they've already presented their stories in their workshop, and now we have the 12 to 17-year-olds at the Ottawa Public Library.
Must be pretty special for them to have that opportunity after going through the workshop and to present. What is that experience like for a young person?
Well, it's great. You see the development where they have to hone down and edit themselves and come closer and closer to a goal.
Right.
And to see them change and make those choices it's lovely. And they decide what is important and what is not, and then they grow with it. And then they're brought to a point, as you know, when the camera comes on, you have to go.
You have to do it. The show must go on.
The show must go on.
It does it. And there's a mentorship program as part of the children's storytelling, right?
As well, yes. There's a mentorship program. There are mentors available at the Ottawa Storytellers, and that you can approach and find a mentor if you want to delve deeper into doing storytelling. And they will take you under their wing. For example, now this is a very different example, but it's still the same type of example. At the Ottawa Centre, there's Mary Gunner, who runs the Ottawa Centre.
Right.
And she is what we might call a story keeper.
Okay, yes.
So it's almost like a historian, because it's part of their culture as well. And she had an apprentice, Louise Provet-Lebon. And so to teach her to be a story keeper, not just a storyteller, but a story keeper.
Right.
So it's sort of the same relationship, but it's a mentor and an apprentice.
Yeah, of course.
But I wanted to mention and bring that back to the First Nations and how they see it, how it's a part of their culture historically as well, and how it works apart as their historical system.
Brad, reminder to everybody at home how they can find the whole schedule. It's running until the 26th, right?
It's running till the 26th, and on the 26th we have 2 sessions, one at the Cumberland Ottawa Public Library,
okay,
and one at the Nepean Sports Nepean
Centrepoint Public Library branch.
Public Library in the afternoon at the main library, and also at the Beaverbrook Library.
Terrific. Thanks so much, Brad, for joining us. Really appreciate it.
Find us on website.
There you go. We'll be right back after this.